Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Garima Rao. I lead uh, portfolios for science, maths, humanities, and early years for Cambridge University Present Assessment. And it's my immense privilege to host this event where we'll be talking about our new product, Cambridge Connection Bridge course. So, what Cambridge Connection Bridge course means and what is the intent behind this product, I will briefly talk about that, and then moving on to the product proposition where we will be talking about its components and why we did what we did, and so on and so forth. And so the intent behind Cambridge Connection Bridge course was to empower CI learners so that they can excel and achieve in international as well as in the local career opportunities. Yeah. So to talk about what was the focus behind bringing out Cambridge Connection Bridge course, in past last year or 1 year or so, we have been receiving a lot of feedback regarding how while the curriculum is aligned and curriculum hosts a lot of opportunities for the learners to do extremely well in securing admissions and having very enriching learning pathways in outside India. The curriculum is so advanced and it is so robust, and how it kind of lays the foundation for skill development from the very get-go of the formative years. We all are aware that Cambridge curriculum emphasizes on critical thinking, problem solving, research skills, encouraging students to question, explore, engage, and so on and so forth. And it is not a new piece of information. We all are aware that Cambridge students continue to pursue wide range of careers with top universities nationally and internationally, with more than 50% continuing their education in India after completing their A level. That was the problem statement. In last 1 year, we realized that lot of students are not transitioning from IGCSE to A level and ASN A level, and they face they either pursue different courses, local career opportunities, or they seek admission in local universities. So and that was what led to the foundation or the conceptualization of this product, that while the curriculum provides ample opportunities for CI learner to pursue lot of a varied range of careers outside India, we need to empower learners in such a way that they and we have to level the play field for CI learners so that they can unlock opportunities in the local ecosystem as well. And while obviously it is very important as the curriculum owners, it is our responsibility to stay relevant. While the curriculum is very robust, very comprehensive, and it gives the learners an extra edge in terms of developing and honing all these skills, it is equally important to stay relevant and keep evolving in terms of empowering learners to meet the local needs and career opportunities as well. Now, as I am talking about, we have heard a lot of feedback. What we have heard from the market, that there are topics that are missing from CI curriculum, while we are covering 70% of what a regular CBSE learner of that particular age group would be learning in that for that particular academic year. There are certain topics that are missing from CI curriculum, and those topics are integral for these high-stake examinations, whether it is JEE, Main and Advanced, or NEET. Now, this is just a very brief glimpse or an example of what are the missing topics and what was required to kind of plug in to create opportunities and to empower CI learners so that they are equally equipped to take on these high stake examinations. Now, what you are seeing currently on your screen is an example of circles and a particular topic called circles and its construction, where the topic is circles. And if you see in there, all the topics are covered, but these are certain there are certain topics like definition of circle, related concept, theorems, proofs of theorems, the perpendicular from the center of a circle, a chord bisects the chord, and conversely, all these theorems were missing. So the and moving on to like triangle and quadrilaterals, midpoint theorem, basic proportionality theorem, converse of basic proportionality theorem, all these theorems were missing. The proofs were missing, which is a very big component of the high stake examinations such as JEE from both main and advanced. Now, this is a sample for physics. This is a glimpse of your mapping sheet, what we did for light, reflection, and heat. Now, all the topics, while majority of the topics have been covered, but there are topics like ray diagram. The ray diagram, this particular concept was covered, but very briefly it is being covered in CI curriculum, while for these high stake examinations, whether JEE or NEET, this needs a very, very comprehensive coverage in terms of the length and breadth of this particular topic. Like spherical mirrors not have been covered in detail, but they form a substantial percentage of the questions that come from this particular topic. Now, for example, refraction of light, while the left hand side, what you see under code, these topics are covered, but what you see in red, like mirror formula, magnification term given only in the index pages, but no mention in the chapter. So we have to cover these additional topics in such a way that a CI learner who is pursuing IGCSE level should be equipped to take on these high stake examinations. Now, what we have discovered basis are these mapping sheets. We mapped CI curriculum to the national curriculum, and we found out that the 70% is what teachers are already covering in their regular academic calendar. However, only 30% for, let's say, biology was something that we need to build on to equip any CI learner to take on these high stake examination. Now, for chemistry, the gap was 40%. By gap, I mean the missing topics, the topic coverage, which includes there will partially overlapping topics, and by partially overlapping topics, I mean the topics that are there. The presence of topic is there in CI curriculum, but probably the length and breadth of the topics were very different. Now, talking about moving on to physics. Physics, we have 55% tentatively was being covered in regular academic calendar. However, there were 45% of topics were additional topics which were required to be covered for them to come at par with the national curriculum and to comfortably take on any high stake examination. Now, mathematics, if you see, the overlapping topics were 45%. Now, the gap in mathematics is probably the maximum, and the reason is because we have mapped it to all the three strands, whether it's 0580, whether it's additional mathematics or international mathematics. So we don't know which learner or which kind of learner, maybe not necessarily a learner who is pursuing 0580 would only be opting for JEE and high stake examination. In all probability, a student who is pursuing additional mathematics in their IGCSE curriculum would also like to take on these examinations. So we want to empower all the varied kind of learners in such a way that we can level the play field for them, so that when they go to any coaching classes or any kind of space, they don't feel that they don't have enough conceptual understanding for these particular topics. So this is a very broad level of mapping that we came up, and we have gone into not only the mapping of the topic wise mapping, but we have gone down to subtopic and subtopic level of mapping, and these mapping have been kind of vetted by experts in CI curriculums, teachers, lot of academicians, lot of decision makers. But not only that, but we have also taken this mapping to our team in UK who is designing this curriculum, and who has also been instrumental in vetting the mapping and the gap areas. Now, enough spoken about the gap areas and the topical gaps and what is in the offering. I will come to that. Now, for the offering, the bridge course is a blended offering. By blended, I mean it has a print component as well as a digital component. Needless to say, it is self-paced learning, which a major part of this program is self-paced, which means a student can take it at its own pace. Of course, teacher's intervention is required, but teacher's intervention is minimum. The product construct is done in such a way that while the focus and the centerpiece of this product is to build the foundation on the additional topics, but at the same time gives them enough opportunities or enough practice material so that they can practice the kind of questions that are usually typically asked in such high-stake examinations. Now, so for coming back to the offerings, we have 4 course books for IGCSE level, which includes 2 years. That means one for grades 9 and 10. A course book for mathematics, a course book for physics, a course book for chemistry, and a book for biology, which covers your additional topics over and above what they are covering in CI curriculum, so that they have total overall understanding for all the topics cumulatively that are required for these high-stake examinations. Also, the entire offering is supported by a teacher's resource hub, where we are facilitating teachers to how to implement this particular program in their classroom, and how to integrate this particular offering in their class regular academic sessions seamlessly. And that is what we have heard from the market, that yes, there is a need for this product where we can offer this particular solution to our parents and students who are aspiring for a high-stake examination. But at the same time, for teachers to be able to implement this program seamlessly in the class, we should equip teachers with a lot of tools and with a lot of scaffolding, so that a teacher does not feel burdened while implementing this particular offering in their classroom. Think about the 5 cornerstones of this particular program or course. As I've said, this is a bespoke resource addressing the topical gaps between IGCSE and the national curriculum. And why we are pegging everything around national curriculum? Because JEE and NEET, both these high-stake examinations are fulcrumed around the national curriculum. So it is important to lay foundation for these additional topics that are not being covered in the CI curriculum. In addition to that, the practice ecosystem that is coming with this particular offering is also strengthens the academic performance of IGCSE learner. So what I mean by that if while we are focusing on partially overlapping topics and non-overlapping topics, the focus, we are not completely ignoring the topics that are being covered in CI curriculum. So the practice is ecosystem that is hosted on our digital platform, which I will show you and my colleague will show you in a while, will also host a lot of questions from the covered topics, so that they give a holistic practice environment for any IGCSE learner, and in a way helping them to strengthen their academic performance for their IGCSE examinations as well. Now, these are the 2 prime objectives. In addition to that, the side byproduct of this particular product is that there are other several exams like CUET, GATE, or Olympiad. As a matter of fact, these exams are based on the national curriculum. So students or learners who are aspiring to take these exams in future, this product will also help them preparing for these particular examinations. Now, moving on to the second cornerstone, which is trusted content. Needless to say, the content is created by expert coming from Cambridge University present assessment. So the quality is vetted, checked, verified. It is trusted content coming from the curriculum owners. In addition to that, as I've mentioned, the program not only addresses the gaps for one particular strand, but it addresses the gaps in of the topics for all the curriculum strands for mathematics, let's say 0580, 0606, and 0607. The unique aspect of this particular course is personalized learning. As I've said in the beginning, this is a self-paced program. It is important. All the such courses which you see in the market, market is flooded with such courses, which the courses that or the programs that endorse that they are personalized. There are a lot of YouTube videos that you will stumble upon in various platforms. Now, how we are giving a scaffolding, while the course books, which is your print product, helps building the concepts in a course book format. The scaffolding and the support is provided with 70 hours of engaging video lectures. These 70 hours of engaging video lectures is for physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology. For all the four subjects cumulatively, the video lectures totally come to a total of 70 hours. Now, I will be talking and showing the samples of video lectures and who all are the experts. But to cover it in brief, right now, these video lectures are segmented into two components. One is speaker sessions and marathon sessions. While speaker session one speaker session is there for one particular chapter, which covers the overall learning, but at the same time gives lot of tools and strategies to solve different kind of questions which are aligned to a particular chapter. At the same time, the marathon session is your last minute revision where 90-minute session is given for a particular subject which a learner should access or can access after completing the overall learning of the bridge course. Now, in addition to these video lectures to support personalized learning and adaptive learning, we have an ecosystem which hosts practice questions through worked examples, and practice quiz, which host over 15,000 questions that are mapped to the competencies. Now, talking about the competencies is very essential, and I would be spending some more time here. I'm pretty sure most of us are aware that what kind of competencies are tested in these high-stake examinations. There are 4 competencies, and in typical day-to-day language, we call as the testing items. The testing items that you see in any of these entrance examinations are created around knowledge consolidation, statement-based question, assertion reasoning question, or case study questions. Now, knowledge consolidation, while test how you are consolidating the overall learning or knowledge of a particular topic and how you are applying it. Assertion reasoning is very simple and very clear, straightforward. Statement-based, where there is one statement and you have to infer and decipher the questions in a particular format. Case study are typically where one paragraph or a case study is given and then you have questions around it. So these are the kind of testing items which are typically asked in these high-stake examination. So in whether it is in print or digital, both the components of Cambridge Connection Bridge Course offering, each and every question that you see, whether it is in the form of worked example or in the form of practice quiz that are hosted on Cambridge Co, every question is mapped to either of these 4 competencies. Now, what is interesting is the diagnostic analysis. Now, let's say if I am a student, if I am aspiring for these high-stake examination and I am taking a particular test. Now, I want to know what is my weakness or where I am prone to making mistakes. Now, I'm not sure how many of us know, but these exams are multiple choice questions. For every question, there are 4 distractors. Obviously, 1 is the correct answer. The 3 are incorrect answers. Now, there is a scientific pedagogy that works around arriving at these incorrect distractors also, which is why often most of us will find something or the other relatable. Even if we don't know the correct answer, we may use the guesswork, which is how these distractors are arrived at. So the three distractors that are arrived are often based on conceptual misunderstanding, calculation error, or a comprehension error. Comprehension error means where you have not understood a particular part of a question. The comprehension is faulty, and which is why you are arriving at an incorrect answer. Conceptual misunderstanding is where the concept is not clear and which leads to a particular distractor. Then calculation error is pretty straightforward. There is third error which often is used for coordinate geometry or 3D spatial kind of concepts, is your visual error, which is also used for biology to arrive at incorrect distractors. So these are four types of errors which are often used to create those distractors. So there is a science that goes behind arriving at those wrong distractors. So we have created our platform in such a way. The platform is Diagnostic, where each time a learner submits an incorrect answer, a pop-up comes up where they are directed what kind of error they have made, and the explanation also comes along, so that a learner is, in a very simplified manner, a learner is each time directed to their the targeted area where they need little more practice, or the journey is being taken in a focused manner. So that is how we are ensuring with this product that the learning remains focused and the practice remains targeted. Now, the fourth and the very important cornerstone is proven strategies. Now, what do we mean by proven strategies? I'm pretty sure we must have stumbled upon some kind of video where a speaker is coming. YouTube is flooded with such videos where a speaker is coming and talking, an expert is talking on a particular concept and laying the foundation. While doing so, the speaker is also giving a lot of strategies and tools and tips to solve a particular question or how to take on this particular question. So they take examples and they try to lay the foundation of a particular concept through those questions. We realize that for a learner who is aspiring to take on these examinations, it is important to give out those strategies and tips for every concept, so that they are well prepared, so that they know if this particular question is being asked in exam, how they should address a particular problem. Now, for this, in the videos, the expert videos, the marathon sessions that I have spoken about, the experts are giving a lot of strategies, a lot of tips to solve a unique kind of problems, taking examples from past years, question papers, and so on and so forth. In addition to that, we are also equipping students with students planner, weightage analysis, tips for smart study planning to empower them and to facilitate the self-paced learning, because learners who are aspiring or aspirants for such high-stake examination, they rely a lot on self-study. So we need to give them enough support to be able to do so. Now, the last and the most important cornerstone is empowering teachers. So when we were doing research of this product, one aspect that stood out is how we are going to integrate this particular offering in the regular academic calendar, so that while the emphasis is students should not feel overburdened, and their well-being should be intact, while supporting them to be and empowering them for every career opportunity in local segment, it is equally important to empower teachers so that they are able to integrate this particular offering in their regular academic calendar. So we did a robust study. We reached out to a lot of teachers and we gathered feedback, what they want, how they want, so, and what kind of tools they want, so that which will help them to integrate and to implement this particular offering seamlessly in their classroom. So for that, we have a blueprint which at the onset tells tells a teacher where are the plugins that they need to do and how much teaching time is required to implement those plugins in a classroom. Now, I will talk about this particular aspect in detail with some examples. In addition to that, we have detailed lesson plans which include suggested teaching ideas. There are entry and exit ticket questions to track baseline and end of the year progress. There are online assessments that teacher can create and assign to all the learners. Each chapter has an assessment where teacher can also test how much understanding, how much learning has happened over on these particular topics. So these are the 5 pillars or 5 cornerstones of Cambridge Connection Bridge Course offering. Just for the ease of reference, what I have spoken about till now, I will now move on to showing you how the chapter would look like in a print format, which will also give you a sneak peek of how, or give a fair idea of what are the components in the print course book and in the digital and how they actually look in the print and digital offering. Now, every chapter in the print form, this is a chapter from chemistry, first chapter, nature of matter. When you open first chapter, there will be a opening image which serves as a visual anchor, which kind of captures the essence of topic to evoke curiosity and to set the tone and engagement, followed by a listing of learning objectives. These are the learning objectives from the bridge course. There, to the left of it, you will see a QR code. Now, QR code gives the access to view the speaker session. So as I've mentioned at the beginning of while describing the cornerstones, there is a speaker session for every chapter. These speaker sessions are of a duration of 30 to 45 minutes each, depending on the length of the chapter. So at any given point of time, if a learner is using, let's say, print, they don't need to toggle between the platform or digital repository. They can, for their convenience, they can directly access this, scan the QR code and go to the speaker session for the video lectures that are hosted on our platform. Followed by, there is a bird's eye view, which gives the segmentation of topics. By segmentation, I mean the number system. If the number system is the main topic, then the topic, there are topics that they are going to study or in the bridge course, and there are topics that they are already learning in their CI curriculum. So for topics that they are already doing in their CI, they don't need to focus in bridge course, while they have to focus only on these additional topics so that they're cumulatively their understanding and the learning outcomes for this particular number system, let's say, for example, is covered for these high-stake examinations. Followed by, there is another section called keywords, which gives the important topic-wise key terms to facilitate swift review. What is important? This covers the keywords from the CI topics also to cover the overlapping topics, because what we need to understand that bridge course is just laying the foundation and building concepts for the additional topics that are not being covered in the CI curriculum. But for keywords and for quick overall revision, it is important that we give them a holistic understanding of each topic that is important for these high-stake examination. Hence, all the key terms, that whether it is overlapping, non-overlapping, or partially overlapping, the keywords are coming from each segment. We thought that yes, while these high-stake examinations are definitely multiple choice questions, but for teachers to understand, to assess overall understanding of concepts and to provide immediate practice to enhance retention, it is important that we give some in-text questions to reinforce the recall and remembering ability, and hence there are practice sections embedded after every main topic, so that a teacher can assign these questions to the learners. Now, there are other additional features in addition to the conceptual building. We have conversation prompts, which are engaging conversation prompts to highlight the focal aspects. There are extended learnings. Now, extended learning is very useful. Now, while we were doing our research, we also realized that there are topics that which an IGCSE learner faces difficulty in while transitioning from IGCSE to AS and A level. And these topics are very essential for AS and A level for these high-stake examinations. So we thought that it would be important to plug in those gaps by giving them additional information, so that it also lays foundation and it helps a learner to swiftly transition from IGCSE to AS and A level. So for these kind of conceptual building is done under extended learning aspect. Now, at the end of every chapter, once the overall learning material is over, we are concluding the learnings in the form of chapter visual summary map, which helps a learner for quick recall. It is just a listing of topics and the flow of topics, so that they know what are the topics they have already learned and how what is their grip on every topic, and to the subtopic level as well. Now, I would like to spend some time on this. There is a section in every chapter as worked examples. This is a compilation of various possibly all kinds and types of questions under these 4 competencies. So every question we have tried to map for these competencies. So as you can see, I'm not sure if you are able to see my cursor. These are worked examples for knowledge consolidation. There is a section for assertion reasoning questions. It is mapped with an icon ARQ. Then there are questions for statement-based question mapped with an icon SBQ, and CSQ for case study questions. So for every chapter, you will find each question benchmarked to these competencies and learning levels aligned to the standardized question strands. And these are the question strands, and it is important that all the learners get familiarized to these competencies, so that when they actually go to grade AS and A level, they are so equipped to take on any kind of question, and hence we are laying that foundation. So for every learner, for every kind of learner, so in a way that by the time they reach AS and A level, they are well versed with handling these kind of testing items and the competencies. Now, like any other exam, the high-stake exam are no exception. We need to include exam-style questions to recapitulate their learning at the end of each chapter, while it is important, but also what kind of questions are being asked in these exams, and this particular section focuses on that. Of course, these examinations, whether JEE and NEET, are around curriculum for AS and A level, which is equivalent to 11 and 12th in the national curriculum. But we have tried to create questions which lead automatically to that particular competency, and which facilitates to inculcate those competencies, so that every learner is able to take on these questions in the most accurate manner. So every chapter will have a dedicated section for exam style questions. This is pretty much what you will see in our course books. Moving on to the digital aspect of it, as I've said, our digital repository and scaffolding is hosted on the platform called Cambridge Go. Now, what is important and unique here is that for Cambridge Go, since these IGCSE learning material is meant for 2 years, for 9 and 10. So whatever material you will see in one course book for, let's say, biology, it will be used to plug in the additional topics that are required for these high-stake examination over these 2 years. So teachers or student would be using this particular course book for 9 as well as 10. Now, it is also important that for students who would be using, who are in AS and A level this year, for them also this particular offering will serve as a foundation. They would also need to use these books, or they would also need to develop the understanding on these particular topics, so that next year, when the next offering or the second phase of offering is out, they should be ready and they should have all the basic information and the prerequisite information for them to be able to understand and develop and build on the topics that the additional topics, which they are going to learn for their AS and A level. Now, right now what you are seeing on your screen is the landing page for student who will get access through a unique 16-digit code of our platform called Cambridge Co. When they will land, they will select the course book and they will see these 3 tabs. They will get assessment, they will get a tab for course ebook, and they will get a tab for videos. Now, assessment I will come on later, but for course ebook, it is a ebook format of the main course book, the print book that I have showed you in my previous slides. But in addition to that, course book ebook is also integrated with the practice quiz. Those 15,000 questions that I just spoke about. After every chapter, there is a tab which allows users to access those quizzes. So typically there are 8 to 10 quizzes for every chapter. Each quiz comprises of about 25 to 30 odd questions, which test topic-wise understanding of these topics and or these concepts. Cumulatively, those quizzes test overall understanding for the entire topics that are given under a particular chapter. Now, moving on to videos, as I've said, videos are host speaker sessions and marathon sessions. Every video lecture is under speaker session is to facilitate learnings of difficult topics that are difficult to teach or learn, who need topics that typically need more attention. At the same time, in video lectures, we are also giving a lot of tips and strategies for learners to crack particular question, because these are tricky questions. So a lot of tips around those tricky questions are also being provided in these video lectures for every subject. Now, marathon session is your intensive virtual marathon session, typically of the duration ranging between 70 to 90 minutes, which covers the overall learning material over these 2 years, which a learner should access before taking on any examination, and it helps students to for last minute revision for overall learning. Now, talking about the practice quiz, I've been speaking about it. I just want to give you a very briefly an understanding of what we do and how it actually helps in diagnostic and adaptive method of learning. So these 15,000 standardized practice questions spanning from basic to advanced level. Each and every question is tagged to basic and advanced as well. The diagnostic analysis, as I've said, the 4 distractors are arrived either from calculation error, conceptual error, comprehension error. Of course, needless to say, one is correct answer. So let's say if this is a question that a learner is at, and if the learner attempts it incorrectly, maybe any incorrect error, in this particular case, the learner has selected a particular answer which is incorrect, and this particular incorrect answer is derived from the comprehension error. That means the learner is not able to comprehend the question correctly. So we are giving them correct answer as well as the explanation of it. So for every incorrect answer, whether it is calculation error, whether it is comprehension error, whether it is visual error, we are giving them a pop-up or a prompt that these are the errors. So now if let's say if I am a student, if I am attempting first practice quiz which has 30 questions, out of those 30 questions, if let's say if I have attempted 10 incorrect questions, and out of those 10 questions, let's say I have 5 errors coming from comprehension error or calculation error, I know that at least I'm aware that I'm prone to making these mistakes. Then in that case, I will be able to focus in that particular area where I can brush upon my weakness and plan my study in a very, very focused and targeted manner. So it's a very simple tool, but very, very useful for aspiring JEE and NEET learners who are, aspiring for these high-stake examinations. Now, moving on to the dashboard for teachers. This is the dashboard that they will see. We will have, in addition to, so what a student will get on their dashboard, teachers will automatically have the access for these components, which is your course book, ebook, which also comes with those 15,000 practice quiz. In addition to that, teachers will also get access to videos. Additionally, they will get access to teacher's book, assessments, and additional resources. And I will be talking and taking you through these additional components. Now, talking about the teacher's ebook, as I've said earlier, one of the, if I may not say the only, but one of the key concern was how do we integrate this particular offering in such a way that teachers do not feel burdened. Yes, our prime objective is to safeguard students' well-being so that they don't feel overburdened, and we create this program in such a way that they don't feel anxious while aspiring for these high-stake examination, and they are prepared from the very fundamental stage, so that when they reach actual time, when that actual time comes, they are fully prepared and they are at level with CBSE learner. It is equally our responsibility to support teachers in the most effective manner, so that they can implement this offering seamlessly in their classroom. Now, the idea is that the lesson plans that I will be showcasing in a while will have learning outcomes from the bridge course and plugged in the learning outcomes of the regular CIE academic calendar for those 2 years. There are times where a teacher would require only to give the extension, because most of it they would be covering in their regular CIE curriculum. But there would be certain cases where a teacher has to lay the foundation for a new topic. Now, both these are seamlessly stitched in the CI calendar, followed by teaching ideas and discussion points to support the students and to challenge students. So there are dedicated sections where we are giving prompts and directives to teachers how to do these 2 aspects as well. So I would be spending some time on it. This is a snip from the lesson plans of a chapter on cell structure and function. Now, the white part of the learning objectives are your learning objectives that a biology teacher would be covering in the CI calendar. While these topics are also important for these high-stake examinations and the coverage is required, the diary inserts that you see, which are highlighted with orange right now, is your learning objectives or the learning statements that we are addressing in our bridge course. So let's say if I'm a teacher, if I'm teaching a particular topic, let's say types of microscopes in classroom, followed by introduction of cell, this particular topic that is missing, which is introduction to cell theory, a teacher, this is a blueprint that each time a teacher will get access their teacher's book, they will get these blueprints for every chapter to tell them that which are the topics that they need to plug in, where exactly these topics are to be plugged in, and what is the estimated time duration, teaching time for these additional topics. So for example, introduction to cell theory has to be plugged in when they cover introduction to cells in their academic CI calendar. The tentative duration is 15 minutes. Then they can take up the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, which is again covered in their CI curriculum, followed by cell wall and detailed exploration of cell organelles. This is a blueprint. This is an overarching blueprint that we have given for in the teacher's book for every teacher, so that they know what to plug in, where to plug in, and they can plan in advance considering the estimated teaching time. Now, followed by that, on the right hand side that you see, this covers only the additional topics, which are your orange diary results, the entire teaching ideas, teaching plan, how to support your students, how to challenge your students. All these things are given in the detailed lesson plans. Now, if you see, if you can see the cursor, I'm not sure if you can see where my cursor is right now. The cursor is on a tab which says evaluate students' understanding of previously taught concepts. Now, previously taught concepts means what they have studied in, let's say, grade 8, or what they have already covered in their CI calendar for this particular class. We have a section or a tab called entry tickets and exit tickets, which test the overall baseline understanding of a particular learning on a particular topic. So what this entry ticket and exit tickets, these sections do, they test the baseline understanding and the end line understanding. Entry tickets have 5 MCQs. For every chapter, we have simple 5 MCQs. Now, while the number of questions are 5, but through these 5 questions, the overall learning for that particular chapter, which is required to build a foundation or to lay a foundation to build on these additional topics, is required. That can be tested through just these 5 questions. So there are 5 questions which test the overall understanding of the prerequisite topics. Now, exit tickets, again, these are 5 MCQs which test overall learning or understanding of the topics that are learned or been taught in the bridge course. So cumulatively, between entry tickets and exit tickets, not only we are assessing and evaluating learners' understanding of the topics of the topics that they are covering in their IGCSE curriculum, but at the same time, we are also evaluating their learning on the bridge course learning objectives. So as I've said in the beginning, that this course is not only meant for, yes, the prime objective is to support aspiring IGCSE learners who are aspiring for these high-stake examinations, but the byproduct is also that it further strengthens any IGCSE learner who is also transitioning to AS and A-level. Now, the last tab that you saw, which is your assessment, which is only accessible to the teachers on their dashboard. This allows teachers to create an assessment from a pool of 600 questions. Now, 600 questions is cumulatively for physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. So, and all the questions that you see are on this on the dashboard will again be aligned to the competencies or the testing items that I have mentioned earlier, which is your knowledge consolidation, assertion, reasoning. So teacher will have a flexibility to sort or select question based on competencies, at the same time based on the difficulty level or the proficiency level. They can have different permutation combination basis the learners requirement which a teacher can access through those entry tickets. So out of 5 learners, let's say, different learners will have different needs, and from those practice quiz also, particular learner may find difficulty in assertion reasoning questions, so they need to give more targeted practice on assertion reasoning. So a teacher can select only assign assertion reasoning questions to that particular learner, while a learner who is facing difficulties to, let's say, statement based questions, can be assigned only statement. So it gives lot of flexibility and allows teachers to cater to the multiple learning needs. Now, just to give you an overall glimpse of what is the estimated teaching time, the course is constructed in such a way that for the 2 years, again, I'm emphasizing and clarifying the teaching time because this book is meant for grade 9 and 10, and it sums up it builds on the additional topics which will be covered in IGCSE curriculum. So the teaching time is also should be spanned over 2 years. Now for maths, the teaching time is approximately 18 hours maximum, because obviously we are plugging in the gaps for the 3 strands, followed by physics, where teaching time is 13.5. Again, the teaching time is the sum total of those estimated times that I have shown in the lesson plan. So we have added those tentative estimated teaching times, and this is tentative. Of course, it can there is a variation, of course. So maths is 18 hours, physics is 13.5 hours, followed by chemistry, which is 12 hours, and last but not least, which is the most mapped subject as far as the national curriculum goes, is 9 hours. So total teaching time which is required, estimated teaching time for 2 years, is 52.5 hours. We also thought it would be a good idea to share our findings. When we were doing our research, a lot of schools were informally conducting these kind of they were running these bridge courses, and the model we thought it would be interesting to share our findings with you. Some schools which are informally running these bridge courses were extending class periods, some were utilizing assembly time, some were doing holding after school classes. A very unique model was block day scheduling, where they were blocking 1 day per once 2 weeks to cover the additional topics that are required. And the very common out of all the models were rotating scheduling, where they are assigning one topic or one subject per week. So essentially they are covering these 4 subjects once a month to cover all the additional topics that are aligned to the what they are teaching in particular class for that particular month. So these are the models that we have come across while doing our research. Now, which is why we decided and we thought that it would be a good idea to give the estimated time for every additional topic, so that a teacher, let's say there are topics where we have given estimated teaching time as 2 minutes, which means that you are already covering, as a teacher, we are already covering that the entire particular concept in our regular CI. However, one very tiny bit of that particular concept is also we need to cover that, and which needs only 2 minutes. So if we look at that, it would be easier for a teacher to plan. Maybe for that particular topic, we don't need to set up or set aside a particular period. Rather, by extending a class by 5 to 7 minutes or 10 minutes, let's say, a teacher can easily cover that topic. So to give teachers lot of flexibility, how do they want to cover these additional topics, we have given those estimated timestamps. That is all from my end. So just to summarize, while the CI curriculum is very robust, very, very comprehensive, and it is cutting edge, where we give lot of opportunities and to the learners to go abroad and pursue different varied kind of career opportunities, it is equally important to stay relevant, and it is equally important to keep evolving the curriculum so that we meet and level the play field for our international, for our learners, in addition to the careers that they pursue outside India, and empower learners who are aspiring to pursue these high-stake examination in India. So that is the whole intent and idea of launching this bridge course program. Also, I would like to tell very briefly that this is for IGCSE. We have come out for this program this year. We will be coming out for AS and A level for next year, which is around September 2025. So I would be happy to answer questions if there are any. Please feel free. You can ask directly, or you can also write in the chat box. There is a question. I think 600 questions are very less. So, ma'am, 600 questions are for the teachers to create assessment. To practice students, there is a pool of 15,000 questions. So a teacher can use those questions as well. However, just to create the assessments and assign assessment, we have offered a pool of 600 questions. In addition, teachers can also use questions that are there in the coursebook as well as from the practice quiz, which is a pool of 15,000 questions. Is the bridging primarily done at IGCSE level? There is also similar. So, thank you, ma'am, for asking this course. This is the first phase of the offering where we are plugging the topical gaps at IGCSE level, and next year we will be coming out with A and AS, where we will be plugging in the gaps at the AS and A level. But for students who are currently at A and AS level, they also ideally should be taking up this or going through this, and this learning material will also be useful for them, because this lays the foundation for the topics that they are going to study in the AS and A level for the national curriculum. We have intense curriculum and struggle to complete. Yes, as I've mentioned in my, as I've shown in my session, the cumulative teaching time, the gaps are, I would not call substantial. Yes, there are additional topics that are required to teach, but it also gives them an opportunity, and it also empower our CI learners to feel equipped with all the overall understanding of the topics that they are not learning in the CI curriculum. And if you have noticed, the overall teaching time is just 52.5. So for a subject teacher, maximum is maths, which is 18 hours. So 18 hours spread across 2 years, that can be accommodated. Will there be a teaching training to help mentors? Yes, definitely. We are holding class testing. We'll be happy to support you to how to implement and how to conduct this particular program effectively in their classroom. Can we have some discussions on geography? As I've said, the proposition this offering is for aspirants who are aspiring for high-stake examination, JEE and NEET, which is why the focal subject at the moment is physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. From where can we get the video lectures? Ma'am, once you adopt the course, you will get a access code. Students will also get an access code, and teachers will get an access code from our team, which gives them access to these particular digital support material. Now, if you want to see how these materials look like, we will give you a login ID credential to view a part of it, so that you get an idea and glimpse how these particular features work. Please share the curriculum map of missing topics. We'll be happy to do so. How do students, parents how can we access these resources? As I've said, ma'am, these resources will be accessed once you adopt a particular this particular offering. You will get access codes which will lead you to our platform called Cambridge Go. But if you want to view a sample, we can share the login credentials, a sample login credentials, which will give you an access and an understanding of what these features are and how they support students. 15,000 questions are in total for 4 subjects, not for one subject. So for physics, chemistry, maths, and biology, cumulatively, there are 15,000 questions. How can we access these practice tools and videos? I have already answered. Will the bridge course be covered for all the students in classroom, irrespective of whether they're great question. I have taken up in my session, but just for the sake of clarity, the course is primarily for students who are aspiring for high-stake examination. But as I've said, since it also takes account of the overlapping topics that they are covering in IGCSE, it is useful for any IGCSE learner who is wanting to strengthen their academic performance. It will help them immensely, because the kind of questions, the skill that are being tested and the skills that are being developed will help them for any exam, whether international or national. When can schools learner begin the program? They can do that between Jan to March, before the session starts. Can we be allowed to go unmute? Okay, I thought that's a question. How are we able to access the published resources? You will have to place an order. You will have to get in touch with our team. Our team will share a QR code with you where you can share your expression of interest. And once we receive that, our team will get in touch with you. Will it not dilute the essence of IGCSE? Unfortunately, no. Fortunately, no. Sorry. Rather, it will empower IGCSE learners. So without diluting the essence of IGCSE, we are not touching IGCSE. We are not, tweaking anything there. We are not changing anything in IGCSE. On top of it, in addition to that, we are addressing a gap area which empowers our CI learners to take these high-stake examinations as well. So without diluting the essence and the importance of our IGCSE curriculum, we are plugging these gaps for these additional topics which are required for them to prepare. Because when a child goes to this coaching space, they assume that everyone is coming from that space where they have a basic fundamental understanding of these topics which are necessary for these high-stake examination, and they don't spend time to build the concept foundation. Rather, they immediately jump on to practice mode. So it is important that our CI learners get equal opportunities and at the national level as well, and they are empowered and equipped suitably and sufficiently effectively to take on these high-stake examinations. Sometimes students are more clear on taking up high-stake examination later than sometimes even grade 10. What is your advice to schools to begin them? So this is a great question. Purnima ma'am, thank you for asking this, because when we started developing this product and conceptualizing this product, we thought that we should come out with an offering for AS and A level. But much later, we realized, when we were conducting our research, we realized that the gap and the fundamental gap is stemming at IGCSE level. In fact, after post 8 only. So we thought instead of just plugging those additional gaps where we just do a foundation concept building at AS and A level, it is very important and crucial to build concept at IGCSE level, because that is where this gap is stemming from. So ideally, the preparation nowadays, if you see the national education landscape, the preparation starts from 6 onwards. CI learners, where the curriculum is so robust, so solid, that they don't need, I would not feel that they would need practice from 6 level. However, it would be a good idea to start plugging in those additional topics and laying the foundation for those additional topics from 9 onwards. I missed the initial part. We will certainly help you. We are going to train the trainer without using the calculator. Yes, ma'am. As a thank you for asking again this question. In the videos that I spoke about, the speaker sessions and the marathon sessions, the strategies and tools are given very, very clearly, because we realize that that is going to be a big challenge for any CI learner who's used to using calculators, while all these examinations where the calculators are not allowed. So a very big part of our strategies in the video lecture is centered around that. How to place order for this book, ma'am? My team will share the QR code. Please share expression of interest. Please fill up that form by scanning that QR code, and our team will reach out to you and will help you, support you in placing the order. In pool of 600 question, can we also model subject-wise questions, or will it be miscellaneous? Ma'am, you can choose subject-wise. You can use the not only subject-wise, but for every subject there is a different pool. So you can choose not only subject-wise, but you can also choose topic-wise, chapter-wise. Yes, you want to, definitely, ma'am. Please again, please scan the QR code, share your expression of interest, and we will share the sample with you. You keep on saying filling the gaps. How are these gaps assessed? How, say, filling of gaps, ma'am? The gaps are assessed after drawing up a very thorough, comprehensive mapping between the two curriculum, which has been vetted and validated by experts of different CI schools, teachers, and principals. Not only that, we have also shared our findings from our team in UK, who is designing these curriculum. So all these gaps have been identified, and that is where the program is fulcrum and centered around, where we have not only spent 6 months time to not only identify the gap, but also to validate these gaps from various educators who are teaching, and of course students who have taken these examinations. How are we going to make the learner remember all the constants of formula, which we do? Exactly. This is where the tips and strategies that I mentioned in my presentation come handy, where speakers are giving them lot of tips and strategies. So a student, while browsing through those videos, can be taught for all the strategies and those. So we are not plugging the gaps, but we are also plugging those gaps in the skills. Like, for example, they are not used to using calculator, but teachers and experts are giving them strategies how to arrive at sine 30 or cosine 30 values. So those teachings are also being addressed in the video lectures. Exams, no, there will be no exams held for these bridge course. This course is to support learners who are aspiring for high-stake examination. So no exams will be held, only the evaluation which a teacher can assign to the learners. Will you be uploading a parent FAQ? We have a FAQ document which we can share, a recording of webinar, or about this will really be helpful. We will be happy to help you and support you in parent orientation. All you have to do is to scan the QR code and write back to us. We will be happy to help you there as well. What does e-symbol in? Oh, e-symbol is electronic book. So e-book is your electronic format of the book, of the course book. I hope you're talking about the e-symbol extending. That is if you're talking about the what you see in your print book, that is meant for your extended learning. But if you are talking about the e-symbol in e-book, in the dashboard, that is your ebook format. Many parents ask us whether NCERT books are essential for NEET and JEE. How should we respond? For CI learners, NCERT books, the answer is no, because NCERT, by using NCERT, they would not be able to, because NCERT is for CBSE and national curriculum. There will be a lot of topics that a CI learner would any which way be covering in their regular academic calendar. So there will be a lot of duplication of topics in NCERT. So they should be directed to the bridge course, and they should be told that now we have something called bridge course, which plugs in the additional topic gaps, so that a learner is prepared for taking on these examinations. NCERT while NCERT focuses on overall learning objectives for CBSE curriculum. So if a child is directed to that, they will be in a situation where they'll be studying one topic twice, like in NCERT as well as in their CI curriculum. So no need to do that, because this is a bespoke solution which is curated only for CI learners who are facing this difficulty, where there are additional topics that are not being covered, while majority of the topics are being covered in CI, but there are additional topics that are not being taught in their CI curriculum, and which is why the bridge course comes in the picture, which only builds on these additional topics. Yes, my team will share the QR code after should we consider learners' choice of core extended before deciding the. So yes, of course, this is post their choice. So if they have opted, the idea is whichever course they have opted, whichever strand they have opted, they will find the missing additional topics that are missing from their curriculum. So there will be no instance where a learner who has opted for, let's say, extended or core, they will be opted out. So irrespective of what choices they make, they will be supported 100% using this bridge course. What if a parent asks if they need a coaching center because they will only plug in gaps with the national coaching? So as I've said, yes, we are not claiming that this is a substitute for their coaching space. We are not claiming that. What we are saying, any CI learner who is aspiring for these examinations, when they go to coaching space, the coaching space people, any space, any institute, they do not spend time to build foundation or to lay the foundation. The parents who are coming to CI schools and principal and asking that my child is aspiring to take these examinations, but whether your curriculum is aligned to prepare them, now the answer is yes. Even the students who are studying their CBSE curriculum, they also go to coaching space. So I'm not saying that this is a substitute for that. What I'm trying to say is that bridge course will empower our learners on those additional topics that were earlier missing from the CI curriculum. By doing that, 60% what they are covering, the gap was only 40 to 50%. Now, in fact, 30 to 40%. So by using this bridge course, they will be at par with any learner who is pursuing the national curriculum. And when they go to these coaching spaces, they'll be better equipped to take on and absorb those strategies which are being taught in these coaching spaces. Then it is again a lot of stress on the student. I am sorry, but the idea is to take off stress from the learners, because in any case, learners are, we have observed and we have gathered data points. So a lot of CI learners are wanting and are going that route where they are keen to take these high-stake examinations, because CI otherwise prepares them beautifully on this skill level. Now, just by when they do not get this additional the foundation, conceptual foundation on those additional topics, then they get stressed. Now we are taking off stress by bridging in those additional topics in such a seamless manner and very easy manner over those two years. Because when they do go to these coaching spaces after AS and A level, that is where they get stressed. Now we are doing it very seamlessly over 4 years. 9 and 10, IGCSE and ASN level, the stress will be very easily spread out. So they don't feel burdened once they actually go to these spaces and education spaces, and or they take on these examinations, because now they'll be better equipped, they'll be better prepared. Will the assessment be planned in this course's line? Yes. Absolutely, as I've shown, the intense practice 15,000, because at IGCSE the main this is at IGCSE level, followed by next year, which is the main the where these examinations are pegged. Like AS and A level will be the center stage for these examinations. Right now, we are just giving them a foundation. This is a back step. We are giving them a foundation for those exams, which will be centered around the curriculum of AS and A level. So we are going them a step down to lay that foundation so that they don't feel stressed after they complete ASN level, and which is why right now the 15,000 pool of question is enough, because each question is not only benchmarked to the competency but also to the industry standards or the examination standards, and give them enough practice material to familiarize with that kind of ecosystem. The material is already available for the consumption to be rolled out for this year academic session. What is the procedure for to avail the teacher's books and the question booklet? Again, ma'am, you'll have to share the expression of interest by scanning the QR code. When you take up the courses, that will come as a free offering. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.